It's Michelle Nesky, the Posh PA, and today we are gonna talk about the money and how much money do PAs actually make. That's right. What is the average salary of a PA in the United States? But before I tell you that, if you haven't already, smash this subscribe button because I'm here every week giving you tips on how to get into PA school, be a successful student, and a fulfilled practicing PA. Okay, so how much money do PAs actually make? Well, there's a variety of factors that will impact that. But according to the latest salary report, the average salary for a PA in the United States is around $112,600. Now, that is the average because there are a few things that are going to impact how high or how low your salary may be. The first thing is going to be geography. Okay, so a lot of this depends on the area of the country that you practice in. For example, California boasts some of the highest salaries for PAs at averaging around $129,000. That is because the cost of living in California is also higher and the market is competitive. So in California, the average PA salary is around $129,000, where in some other states like New York, for example, it's slightly lower at $122,000 and even a little bit lower in the South and in the Midwest. It really just depends on the market and where you live at that time. So keep that in mind, not only when looking for jobs, but also when looking at PA schools to apply to if you want to stay in that state after graduation, and think about the salary in those areas. The second thing that's going to impact your salary as a PA is going to be your specialty. So PAs typically in surgery and surgical subspecialties tend to make a higher income than those in medicine and medicine specialties. And as a rule, there are certain specialties that tend to be more lucrative, even in the medical arena, like dermatology or anesthesiology or something like that, which is going to have a higher base salary. So specialty is taken into consideration when hiring PAs, and surgical subspecialty PAs tend to make a little bit more money because they tend to work longer hours, they tend to be on call more, and they tend to have more weekend work. They also tend to have more inpatient work. So it really just depends on the specialty that you choose and the geographic location. Practice can also make an impact on that. For example, if you work in a private practice versus an academic medical center, private practices tend to pay a little bit more than academic medical centers, okay? So that also plays a factor into this. The third thing that plays into your salary is your years of experience, right? So I've been a PA for 18 years. That means my salary is probably going to be higher, and it should be than somebody who is fresh out of PA school because of the amount of years of experience that I have. Now, that can go even further if I have a specific specialty that I've been practicing in and have a lot of expertise in, and there's a position and a real need to fill that. My salary could be even higher because I have so much specialty experience going into this job, and they know I can hit the ground running. And so that's also going to affect my base salary moving forward. So I think it's really important to think about these factors when looking at jobs as a new graduate. Number one, looking at PA schools when you're thinking about applying, and if you think you may want to live in that state afterwards, and for negotiating contracts and really trying to understand how much the average PA makes in the United States. Now, the AAPA, the American Academy of Physician Assistants, puts out a salary report every year. So it's always a good reference to go back to and really look and see what in your area of the country, what in your state is considered to be the norm. A lot of employers will do a market rate increase. What does that mean? They will look at the average amount that PAs are making across your state, and if your institution is lower than the average, they tend to do a market increase and match that salary. Now, there's also a fourth thing that can impact this, and that is if your employer gives bonuses. So if you are working at an institution that gives merit bonuses or bonuses based on the amount of patients that you're seeing per month or something like that, you can also make additional income on top of your base salary that way. And the fifth way your salary can be augmented as a PA is if you're doing something on the side, like you have a side hustle. Hello, the Posh PA, right? So my income as a PA is different because I have a clinical practice, but then I also have a business that I run from home and I make additional income on top of that. That's one way to do it, but you could also be a speaker. You can also partner with pharmaceutical companies and give lectures and make additional income that way as well. There are some places where you can make income adjunct faculty and things like that for PA programs. So there's a lot of ways to supplement your income in addition to the base salary that you get as a clinical practicing PA. And if you don't want to work full-time in clinical practice, you can use one of these other areas to balance out your salary. So as a quick recap, the factors that are going to impact your salary as a PA are going to be geographic location, years of experience, and specialty. Those are the top three. Then the other ones include bonuses and any additional income that you might be getting on the side from whatever you're doing from an entrepreneurial standpoint or beyond. Now, again, the average salary for a PA is about $112,000, which is pretty great, right? And again, in California and places like that, the salaries are going to be higher. So just check your state, check your geographic area, and see what the average salary is for PAs in your specialty, particularly when looking for new jobs. I hope this video helped you understand a little bit more about PA salary, and go get your money.